And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now a handoff here to his running back. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. Now they've got his man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Double tight, guys, double tight. You got 3 down.
Now they try the right side here. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry. Anyway, Sponge, Hayward. Mike, 4. Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me and you.
They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches. Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at the 45-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check 43.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down. Off of play action. Luck. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still...
There he goes, Amari Cooper. The 40. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Amari Cooper, 95 yards, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. So a nice touchdown pass for the rookie there. And, you know, as they go down the stretch, look, they're not a playoff team. This is just confidence building and growth time for him, right?
Yeah, it's a game within the game, isn't it? Because every team wants to win all games on their schedule. But the development of this rookie quarterback is paramount for this team. So you're exactly right. Every rep, doesn't matter what the game, what the situation, what the score, valuable for him, valuable for his team as they look towards next year.
So back even at 6 apiece as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Play action. It's locked. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. 3rd down here. This is going to be a good one-on-one battle to watch. Both of these guys play the game at the highest level.
Both of them are terrific competitors. They play the game with great athleticism and smarts as well.
And in this early round, the defense wins. Throwing on 3rd down, Locke. Uncorks one for Davis. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks him, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. He has just been alone for opposing offenses to account for now. 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take
Catch
away
the
all
ball.
the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So after the loss of 2, here's 2nd and 12 from the 23. Now a handoff looking right. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
The tackle made at the 24-yard line. A gain of a yard makes it 3rd and 11.
These two teams all tied after 1.
The score tied 6-6.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you'll have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Ready?
Back to throw. Sliding out of it, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Going to give this time to the tailback. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Check 26, check 20, come on. Bravo. 54.
A shotgun snap for Love. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. The 20. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens have taken the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. A touchdown would tie it. They trail 13-6 as they come up with a 1st and 10. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run it with Carson. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. He'll look to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's going to be brought down short of the 1st at about the 31-yard line. The Jets are going to use the 1st of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can. It's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the 1st half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike. Danny. Referee. Check 24, check 24.
Now a handoff looking right. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Dashing through the snow. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. 76 yards. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. And the kick here no good. But a penalty flag is down. Looks like he got run into. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, we got 3 down.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 8.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Here we go.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
52's the mic. Yo, let's go. Pick it up, T. 52's the mic. Watch Mike, watch Mike.
He'll drop to throw, and that will be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New York. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that kick will go out of bounds right at the 20-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Coming to you.
Luck now to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. O.J. Howard, 85 yards. As the Ravens push further out in front. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
At their own 25-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
We ain't giving up nothing today.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Back to throw now on first down. Flushed out right. And now he's going to use his legs. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Double time. Double time. We got 3. We got 3, fellas. We got 3.
On play action, they'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Looking to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. So we've reached halftime here on Christmas Day. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this you're going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something.
And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. Intended that time for Cooper. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
After the interception, it's Locke. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. That's 3 touchdown passes now for Andrew Luck. And the Ravens turn that interception into a touchdown. And there they got him the ball just Get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Can you believe it? He misses another one, his third so far. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
The Jets take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. 2nd and 2. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. They'll look to throw here. Try to lay one up deep. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Here we go. 2-6. Mike, check. 59. Yeah.
Back to throw here. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Mexico.
And to give this time to the tailback. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 5-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
59. We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
From the gun, here's Love. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. back near your own goal line, I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Now they try the right side here. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Second and 12 at the 21-yard line.
That's what I do.
On second and 12, Luck uncorks one for Davis. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
And it's under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Josh Allen has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
The Ravens send their punter out now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40.
Let's go.
At their own 39-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Jet first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Second and 12 at the 19-yard line.
Let's go now. 60 out low. 59. Mike to 59. They get it.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
Down and 12.
Check up. 64. Drink. Turn up. Ball trot. Turn up. Mike's 59. Mike's 59. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they...
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And his kick here is good. And that will cut the lead down to 3 scores at 24. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
Let's go, Mexico. Check 31. Check 6-6. Pull it high.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this third down.
He's crashing. He's checking crash. Check it back. Check it back.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll come on to kick this one away. Taking it about the 16. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Mike, check. 59. Off. Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it together. 59's Mike. Check. 59. Oh, here we go. Hey.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down.
24 is the mark. Screen. 24 is the mic. Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's run it.
They'll drop the throw. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 40. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the third quarter. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Jam, 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 jam. On the ball.
On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Now back to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Mike, forward. I hope you brought your left because I'm about to take you to school.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. So they decline the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty, and that's going to work against them. They should have taken it.
Check 13. Check 13. Line 40. Easy, alert, alert.
They go play action here on 1st down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Cyrus Jones picks it, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Tight end right. Tight end right.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 yards is the pickup. Good enough for a Jet 1st down. Movement there on the offensive line. A little quick, and a 5-yard penalty. That's going to set them back 5 yards. Shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking for Cooper, that's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And it'll make it 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Hassan Reddick, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. 2nd and 11. He's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
It's now 3rd down and goal.
They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Jets are able to close the gap just a bit. So the Jet offense staying on the field. They're going to go for 2. They'll try and run it here. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Now, wait a minute. Did the Jets get it? They did. So the onside kick is recovered. And, you know, I always thought, Charles, as someone who didn't play these positions, that going over the middle as a receiver or trying to recover an onside kick, those are 2 very tough things to do.
Takes a lot of fortitude to put yourself in that position, but you have to do it in order to help your team win.
Unable to recover it, it costs them. The kicking team gets the football here. The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They're going to look to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
So 2nd in inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker.
Check, 59. Come to my work.
2nd down in inches. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Right back to him on first down. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Back at the 25-yard line.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll be a loss of 7 on the play. And that's going to make it fourth down. And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on fourth down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. It was Quincy Wilson that time, was able to make the play defensively. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Hey, pick your game up. Tighten up, tighten up. Monday. Check.
22 Jet Bombers.
And he'll give it here to his running back. 5 yards will get him back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Check out. 622.
59. Watch the pass. Check three. Chance.
Throwing on 3rd down, Love. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. They've gone to the 4th quarter now in Dallas. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Another victory perhaps in the cards. They're looking as good as anybody as the playoffs draw near. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Quincy Wilson with the INT. And that will write a finish to this ball game. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And despite the cold, despite the snow, this one was fun to watch, and I want to thank you for bringing two things, the space heater and the hot chocolate. Those were a big help for us here in the booth.
Yeah, just so you know, in the future, get your own space heater. Okay, I'm an only child. I don't share very often. But this had to bring out, like, the 12-year-old in us, didn't it? I mean, to be able to watch this, and let's face it, when you were that age, you didn't come inside until Mom screamed, "Get inside now, young man," because you wanted to be out there just having a good time, and actually you almost forgot just how cold it was. I'm sure these guys didn't, but they ended up playing just like those 12-year-olds and getting it done.
So for the Ravens, their hopes of a 500 season stay alive as they move to 7-8 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Jets, it's another loss as they now fall to 4-11. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.